Hey, welcome to the Because I Can live podcast. I'm Alison. I'm so glad you're here. If you are brand new, welcome. Welcome, welcome. If you are a listener that has listened over and over again, hugs and kisses to you for coming back. And guess what I just noticed? I noticed we have 144 new reviews that came in last week. Oh my gosh, I want to just reach through this podcast and just give you the biggest squeeze ever. Thank you for rating and reviewing. And you can only do it on iTunes. And the way iTunes work is by rating and reviewing. And you are keeping us high on the podcast list. And that is helping me to bring in amazing guests so that we can help you grow your business. And today, guess what? It's not any different. We have an amazing guest on. And actually, what happened with this guest is I talked about her in episode number 6, how her biggest mistake was actually her biggest blessing to be able to grow her business to 6 figures. So after this episode, you can go back and listen to that one. But what I did is I actually brought in Wendy Kesl. Wendy Kesl into one of my groups. I have a group called The Next Level, where we do a lot of one-on-one stuff to help people to grow their online business. And I brought Wendy in to interview her, where others could ask her questions about growing her business, what she's done. I mean, she's selling glitter. It's not like it's $100 orders. We're talking like $5 to $10 orders, bottles of glitter. And she created her first 6 figures last year. And then her second 6 figures is actually done a little bit differently, and she's done it even faster. And so we dive into that, and she is going to give you so many details that you're going to want to take notes, because it will get your brain on the train of never-ending goodness. I guess I could say there's so much glitter, the good glitter, not the ones that distract you, the good glitter to help you be able to grow a business. And she is doing 6 to 7 figures a month consistently with this one thing that she is about to teach you. And then hang around to the end after the interview, because I'm going to give you my top 10 takeaways, and let me know if you think those top 10 takeaways are it, or if I missed some, or if you want to add some, I would love to hear. So once again, thanks for rating and reviewing. Thanks for showing up to help bring back more amazing guests to help you grow your business. So let's dive in to this training, now turned podcast, with the glitterful, the amazing Wendy Kesl. I woke up so dang excited today. Because Wendy Kesl is going to be gracing our presence. And I'll tell you what, okay, Wendy Kesl, you guys will notice this. Wendy is a powerhouse. Even though I don't know if she would admit it, I'm just going to tell you that she is. She is very humble soul. But I've been able to coach her for, Wendy, about 2 years? I think it's been about 2 years now. Yeah. And I have seen her go through some of the craziest things. And number one is her biggest mistake, her biggest mess was actually the thing that helped her stand out and become successful. And so as you're listening to this, I want you to go back and think about all the things that you have made a mistake on, you have buggered up, and how you can actually turn that into your greatest strength, because that's one of the things that Wendy has done. I also want to dig into this Facebook group that she has, and then also her email strategy, because she has messaged me about her email strategy and about one thing specific. Wendy, I don't know if you remember, but a year ago, she messaged me and I told her, I said, okay, when you launch a product, yes, you have the pre-party, then you post it, and then she would stop there. And I said, Wendy, you got to follow it up. You got to have that last day sell. You got to have that last day email to send out. And she emailed me and said, oh my freaking heck, Alison. I made, I think it was like $600 with her initial email. And then her last email, like closing the cart email, she did over $2,000 in sales. Like that was the power. And since then, she has been absolutely addicted to it and her sales numbers show it. Anyway, I won't talk too much more because I want to introduce the amazing Wendy.
You're going to make me blush before we even start.
Wendy, thank you for coming on.
Sure.
Okay, so first off, I want you to tell us about what in the devil, I already know, but what in the devil is behind you? Because it looks so amazing right now.
This is all my glitter. So for those that don't know, I sell glitter. Just glitter. I don't finish products. I don't create products for people. I sell glitter. I brought show and tells for you, Alison. I came prepared. This just happens to be a shaped glitter, but I sell them in shakers. And so that's not even all my glitter. That's just most of it. There's glitter in front of me too.
Okay, 2 years ago, this is not what your office looked like.
No, no. So I think it's been about 2.5 years I've had this business, and I started with 12 colors, and that was it. And I bought the absolute minimum I could of those 12 colors to sell. And we've grown into, God, I've lost track, but I think I have over 300 different colors in different sizes, different textures used for different things.
Started, you had your 13 or 12 colors, right? You're moving forward and you're getting a little bit frustrated, right? And then your daughter did something, and explain what that frustration was where you almost said, I quit. I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah. So probably about 3 months into starting to sell glitter, I was getting to where I could add colors. And I also wanted to add a subscription box. And so I was doing this at the same time. I was bringing in some colors for the subscription box, and I was bringing in 5 new colors to sell to my customers. And I had just got the glitter in. I had not portioned. I had put it into little bowls so that you could see the color and I could start to take pictures from it. And then I had to go on a business trip because I've worked basically full time most of the time building this business. And I left it in my office, and I was like, okay, I'm sorry to my husband. I was like, you have to pack orders while I'm gone. And so he did that. And I was like, but don't touch this glitter over here. That's open containers, mismatched Tupperware, no lids to close it. I'm like, just don't touch the glitter. And I come back, and she was 7 at the time. She's 9 now. She was helping him pack orders, and she had mixed the glitters up. So she had cross-contaminated the glitters by accidentally knocking one glitter into the other glitter and stuff like that. And you can't unsort glitter. So once it's mixed, it's mixed. And I was super frustrated. I probably had the worst parenting moment of my life with her. It was like, what are you doing? Like, this is our business. This is money. And I'm like, and later you're like, she's 7. She doesn't understand that. She was truly trying to help. And, it took me a little bit of time. I ignored it, finished the orders. We were trying to think about our subscription box. And I kept coming back to the fact that I had all this glitter just mixed up at the side of my desk. And so I was like, well, I got to do something. So I started just dumping it into one big container because I was like, I can't stomach just throwing it out yet. I really couldn't, because I mean, this is money. I couldn't just stomach throwing it out. And so I started dumping each one into a container, and I started looking at the glitter, and I was like, wow, this is actually a really beautiful color. And as I kept putting it in, I was like, found the one Tupperware that had a lid, found a lid, put it on it, shook up the glitter to mix it a little bit, opened it, and it was absolutely the most gorgeous color of glitter that I think we've actually sold. And so I'm looking at it, I'm like, well, what can I do? Because it's limited. I probably could make it again, but could I really? And so what we came up with was an Aurora's custom mix. Aurora is my daughter. A custom mix. And what we did is we portioned it out into these little tiny sample containers. And we had just enough for our subscription boxes, and we put it in as a free gift in our subscription box. So instead of throwing all that glitter out and losing the money, we put it as a free item into our subscription box. And just to, be like, here's a sample of other glitters we have. Well, before we sent out the subscription box, I kept thinking about it. I'm like, they're going to ask for this glitter, right? And I can't necessarily remake it for them. And so what we decided to do was take it one step farther, and we made recipe cards for them. And we said, here is the glitter we used for this sample, and we gave them both free. And had no clue that it was going to go over as well as it did. To me, it was just trying to use the glitter that was totally messed up and couldn't be sold the way it was. And what happened is that Aurora's custom glitter we're now 28 custom glitters later. She makes one every single month for our subscription box, and it is the most sought after item I sell. And I still do not make them to sell. I give them the recipe card, and then they have to come back and buy the 3 to 5 glitters we use to make it. And so it's actually become a moneymaker, because they're buying additional glitters to make that particular blend. So it was, and then I had to apologize to my daughter. I'm really sorry that I yelled at you and that this happened, but this is a great lesson on how mistakes can turn into something else as long as we continue to try and look at them from a different point of view. And she still tells the story to this day too, about remember the time I made that mistake and then what we did to fix it. But
okay, do you guys love that story? Like, some of you are saying, what a beautiful story. Love this so much. Your mistakes are your blessings. Your mistakes are leading you down the right road. If Wendy would have stopped or said, Aurora, you're grounded for life, taken it, chucked it away, held her to it though, and then chucked it away, God was like delivering this answer to her. The universe, whatever you believe in, was handing her the solution. Yeah. And it took her a second to calm down, because like, as all mothers, like, Wendy, I have issues with glitter. If glitter gets spilled in my house, I'm like, burn the freaking house down. You can't clean glitter. So I love that you said, okay, I'm going to take a break, find my Zen, and then you are able to sort out the answer and be able to provide something that puts you completely apart, sets you completely apart from everybody else.
Yeah. Ugh, and my competitors still do not provide any recipes that I can tell to people. And so I get a lot of comments of like, oh my gosh, you told us how to make this glitter. And I'm like, yeah, mix the glitter, be creative, like enjoy it. And then my avatar is the professional crafters who take raw products and make personalized items for people. And I'm like, this is an opportunity for you to take something and customize it so that you can say you can only get this color or this blend or this product from them, because the crafting world has a lot of overlap between people.
Okay, so Megan is saying, so how can you do this? What about a piece that is picked out by a customer or employee or family? Oh, Megan, you're saying that to everybody else. I thought you were asking Wendy. Okay, so first off, let's ask Stacy, why did you choose glitter? Of all the things, Wendy, why glitter?
I have loved glitter since I was a little girl, but in all honesty, I didn't know how to use it effectively. And so when I found Alison, oh my gosh, October of 2017, I think is when I found you. I was like everybody else, trying to figure out a product, a name, what I wanted to do. Oh my God, it's fourth quarter. Like, we can make money in fourth quarter, right? And I tried home decor. I tried clothing. I tried kids clothing. I tried jewelry. And fourth quarter, I made $197 and hated every single product I sold. But during that process, I also was finding different Facebook groups that I did find interest in. And every single one I joined was crafting based. And then the more I was in there, and I love crafting in general, the more I was in there, the more I found out how to use glitter. And glitter shouldn't be a dirty word in most houses, because if you use the right techniques, it's really easy to use and to clean up. And so I wanted to learn more about it, and I wanted to then provide that to other people. And so like I have a blog that helps show how you can use use glitter in crafts traditionally and untraditionally, and how to actually, seal it on so that it doesn't fall all over your house.
I need those tips, Wendy.
They're all there. But so that's why. And so then I was like, well, I'm going to get into glitter. Glitter is like, in the crafting world, is like selling t-shirts. Completely oversaturated. Everyone thinks that you can't make any money because everybody is doing it. And it's really not true. It's just how you connect with your customers, the value you provide, and the ability to sustain that.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. Oh, so much right in there. So much right in there. Okay. So you had to spend $197 to realize, I don't want to sell that crap, but it helped you become aware of what you wanted to do, right?
Correct.
Okay. Now you've gone to college, and it's not just your bachelor's degree. Like, you guys, we are looking at a doctor right now. Wendy has been to a lot of friggin' school.
Yeah, it's Dr. Wendy.
So, did Dr. Wendy, was the $197 cheaper than which one cost more to help you to figure out which you wanted to do?
Well, I love my profession, but I do, and I work in health. I have a doctorate degree in nursing. I work in the healthcare industry, but I do not like the healthcare industry. I love nursing as a profession, but I do not like the way healthcare is managed. But it costed me $200,000 to determine that I would prefer to be an entrepreneur.
Okay, thank you for saying that. And I went to school. Mine didn't cost me $200,000, so I'm not a doctor. That's why I love calling you Dr. Wendy. Okay, so $187. And what did you do with that crap? Did you end up
still in my garage?
Still in your garage. Perfect.
I'm trying to get my sister to D-dash it for me, and I will pay her.
Perfect. But that 197 gave you so much clarity. Right. So much clarity on what the direction is you want to go. Okay, so let's back it up. So you got your 12 colors. How did you make your very first sell of glitter? Glitter.
So I found somebody who had a crafting group and asked her if she would just review my glitter on a live. And I sent her a box full of glitter and a discount code. And that's actually how I made my first $600, because it was one event and I got my first $600 that night.
And that was with the Facebook group?
That was in her Facebook group, yes. So I had been following a whole bunch of people. I didn't even have a Facebook group at that time. And she went live all the time making projects with glitter. And so I just reached out to her and said, hey, I'm a new seller of glitter. Would you be willing to do a review on one of your lives of my glitter? And she said yes. And that got me my first $600 in sales.
Do you remember how many followers she had off the top of your head?
She actually had a huge group. So her group, I want to say, was like 23,000 people in it. And her lives would get about 1,000 to 2,000 comments.
Okay. So 23,000 though isn't like ginormous. Like, that's considered a micro influencer. But in the big world, right? Like Joanna Gaines or Taylor Swift, like that's awesome.
But since then, because I have a hard time finding traditional influencers, and I can tell you I've been denied by every deal site for a total of 9 times. And I have used super micro influencers of people who have groups. Like, I have one person right now. I actually just hired her to do lives in my group, but her group has 2,000 people in it. And every time she advertised, I make $2,000. So the size doesn't always matter. It's how they're able to connect with the audience that they do have, is what I've discovered.
I love it. I love it. It's so true. It's so true. These micro influencers are kicking butt. And I love how you went and found Facebook groups. A lot of times we're out there looking for Instagrammers and the swipe up and all that, and they have to have 10,000 followers. But with a Facebook group, they can be super small and it's a community. And so it's like a totally different feel. So I love that you did that. Okay. So you made your first $600 and you're like, sweet. Kate, what was the thing that made you go, okay, I've got this glitter. Now I want to turn it into a subscription box?
So I was watching my competitors and they were all doing subscription boxes. And then I was like, and then I don't know, I'm a very analytical person. And so then I was like, that would guarantee me some income every month if I had a subscription box that would help support the peaks and valleys that you go through, especially when you're first starting. And so it's like you could have some, it's not passive income, but some income that you can kind of count on a percentage of it every single month, because there's always going to be churn of people coming in and people leaving. And so I started that so that we could have that kind of guarantee of some funds coming in every single month.
Okay. Did you start that about how far into your,
our first box was May, or I think it was May of 2018. So 3 months in. I think I've started February of 2018. So yeah, 3 months in, I started the subscription box.
Okay. And then, all right. So you're seeing success with these Facebook groups. And at what point did you say, I need to start my own Facebook group?
My followers told me, because I just had a Facebook page and it was very hard to interact with them on the Facebook page. And, like their posts go into some community post zone that you have to go review and stuff. And so they were like, we would prefer a group. So I was like, okay. So I created a group, and then they started finding me through the group. And then
What's your group called?
It's Glitter Luv Creations.
And how many followers does it have now?
Oh, less than 3,000.
That's amazing. Can we just acknowledge that is amazing? And did you pay for these people to join your group?
No.
Do you find you're organically growing?
Yes. So, I did start Facebook ads 4 months ago, but most of the people that have been in my group I've been at like 2,200 people in there for months. Because my focus hasn't been growing my group. It's just been, giving them the information, treating it like a community. And if somebody wants to join it, they will. We do share in our emails and our Instagram and stuff like that we have a group. So a lot of, and in our blog posts, we're like, you can come check out our group too. So it's all but that way, but we don't specifically pay for people to get people to come join our group.
Perfect. Yeah. I don't, I think that's hard to do. To have someone come, and you don't want to pay for followers anyways. Like, Okay, Lindsay asks, is your subscription payment plan that people can subscribe or unsubscribe month by month?
Yes.
Okay. And what is it? How much do you charge for that?
Oh, that's a great question. It's always discounted. So I think the discounted price starts at $25.99 plus, and then you have to pay any applicable taxes and shipping. But so the small ones, this size, starts right around the $25 mark, and then it goes up from there because we have a larger size too.
Okay, so you have your subscription, and how many glitter colors come in a subscription box?
So 5 glitters, 1 shape, Aurora's custom, candy, and some sort of tool to use with the glitter. So lately it's been a mold that you can actually use with epoxy, or sometimes they're keychains, something that you can do with the glitter.
Okay. And then for a one-off bottle, what do you charge for a one-off bottle?
So the small bottles now start at $5.99.
Perfect. You went up in price.
I did.
Nice job.
Yes.
Nice job,
I know when I
Wendy.
started, it was like $3.99 or no, actually, I think I had some that were $3.49 is when I first started, but cost of shipping has quadrupled.
Oh my gosh. I know. And what was it? October 1st, they went up higher.
Again. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And I
think
don't
it's
know
the
if they're going to
15th.
go down. Dang
I
it.
doubt it.
Dang
Yeah.
it. Okay. So, next thing. So you guys are asking some questions. I love it in the comments. Stacy says, how do you manage your subscription program? Is there an app or service that you use?
Yes. So I use Recharge, and it's an app through Shopify. And it, my understanding is it doesn't work fantastic for if you have personalization. So like you need them to type in a name or something like that. But if you have an actual product that is set, it has worked fantastic for me. They charge a monthly fee plus I think like 1% of whatever you sell.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Now you're selling these $6 bottles of glitter, or you've got your subscription, right? And you don't have to tell us your total numbers because I'm not going to put you on the spot like that. But you're not making like $10 a month, are you?
No. So ironically, my goal for 2020 was to hit 100K in one calendar year. And I will do that on the 15th of this month when my subscription renews.
Woohoo!
So
Just in the
yeah.
subscription?
Yeah. So my subscription box is now bringing in $6,000 to $8,000 a month.
Oh my gosh, I want to just reach to the screen and hug you, Wendy.
Yeah, so I'm $8,000 away from 100K this year, and so I know by the 16th I will make it.
Okay, will you post in the group so we can all freak out for you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah, because it took me like a year and a half to do my first 100K. It was like painful.
yeah, like the first dollar takes the longest, and the second dollar not so much, and then your first 10 grand feels like forever, and the second grand not so much. Like it's just these milestones that we have to get through. As soon as you get through them, you're like, I figured it out. I can go faster next time. I can go faster next time.
Yeah, I've brought in enough to do 250 subscription boxes this month. And to me, that number is just still unfathomable. But we sold 160 last month. And then I got a whole bunch of angry emails because we ran out of subscription boxes.
Yeah.
So I started a wait list. I was like, I'm sorry, let's start a wait list here. And so, yeah, I'm hoping to sell.
How are you doing that? How are you starting the wait list? Like, what is the process?
So exact same app, Recharge. I just made the wait list a product. And so they sign up for it. And then it says right in it that on the 30th of the month and on the 16th is when they can come off the wait list. Because
Brilliant.
That's when I know when I have boxes.
Brilliant. Now, okay, let's go back. If you would have gotten 250 orders on your first month, what would you have done?
I would have cried. Because I was in this tiny, tiny townhouse, and like putting together the 45 boxes we did was like painful because there was no good way to process them. They were stacked up in my hallway waiting for USPS to pick them up, and we couldn't walk through our hallway. And then, learning how much product to put into it, the boxes, the packing paper, the amount of tape it takes to close the subscription boxes. Like those are all things that you don't think of until you're in the moment.
Oh, so good, Wendy. So good. Okay. So talk to me about your Facebook group a little bit more. So what do you post in there to keep people active?
So I post, I have a few standards that we always do. We always laugh about Wednesday being midweek or hump day, or, let's start over day. We have a share it Saturday. So whatever you've been working and crafting on, my blog post that goes out via email, I send it again via Facebook saying, hey, did you see our blog post today? And get them back to our website. And then, I've hired 2 people to do a live a month on showing them. One specifically shows our subscription box and makes a product with our subscription box and she does it at the end of the month to gain hopefully interest in more people to buy it. And then I have someone else who just is showing different techniques the first half of the month because I don't enjoy going live, so I'm hiring it out. And then I have 2 raffles a month. One is for participation in the group. The top 10 people go into a pool every single month and we draw for a gift card. And then I have one for showing off your subscription box, either unboxing it and or using the product throughout the month with using a specific hashtag. And then that way I'm building up that hashtag. I'm getting a whole bunch of pictures to use and testimonials. And it costs me a subscription box. I give them 1 subscription box for free, and it's whatever size they're already subscribing to.
So basically you're paying $25 total cost sales. It's not your cost, but $26 total cost, right? To get content for the entire week/month.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's so good. Wendy.
Yeah.
So good. So good. So good. Okay. So Stacy says, does everyone get the same thing each month, or are these boxes sent out in order of subscription age?
No. So everyone gets the same thing every month. And it's getting tough, but I haven't duplicated a single box yet.
Yeah. And I think if it was a subscription age, Stacy, I think that would get so confusing. And then like Wendy just knows, okay, because of the recharge app and people waiting, okay, next month I'm going to have to do at least 250. And then the next month I'm going to do this. So she's not guessing. Like she's set up a system to give her the answers. And I mean, that's got to help with margin. That's got to help with inventory, all that kind of stuff. And team.
Oh,
to know how many people that you need to help you build these boxes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so I don't do like a lot of people with subscription will be buy one time or subscribe. I'm subscribe. And if I have any left, it goes into on my website as an overstock, and then they pay full price for it. And so the people that want it once a month don't get the discount or want it without the subscription can get it if I have any left, but they have to pay full price for it. And I don't have any boxes left at all this year. A couple people, well, that one influencer that has 2,000 people, they unboxed a subscription box, and somebody, like 3 people went and bought every single one I had left in it. And so I don't have anything left.
Okay. So this is brilliant. Okay, guys, think about how this strategy. So Wendy's going out there, she's working with this influencer, giving her a $30 box or whatever it is, right? And then Wendy has them on her list, and then they're continually buying month after month after month that she doesn't have to pay the influencer for. And so Wendy's out there on the front end working with all these influencers. This is how Wendy has found her $100,000 an hour job, is by going after the influencers, building up her list, getting them on the list, and then reselling them over and over and over again. All right. So talk to me about your email. What is your email? And then go into the one, if you wouldn't mind going into the one story, how the first email that you sent out was around 600, and then how you closed it. And you did really well.
Yeah. So I'm going to start there just because I'll forget otherwise. That was August a year ago. So my birthday's in August. So we always celebrate Founder's birthday. And so I had sent out an email, and we were fairly busy. Oh, yes, because I was finishing my doctorate clinicals. So I was already exhausted. I was super tired. I was going to Alison's mastermind, and this is all the same month of August, right? Last year. And but I wanted to do a founder's discount promo. And so I sent out the email, Friday, I sent out like Tuesday, we're having a sale this weekend, sent out Friday saying the sale has started, got like 600 that day, got, 800 on Saturday. And I wasn't going to close the sale. And at the last second, there's this Alison voice in the back of my head that says, you need to close that sale. You need to close the sale. And I'm like, I don't have time to write another email. And I was like, fine, I have to close the sale. And it was probably a very plain email that just said, final few hours of the sale, don't miss out. And I think I did over $2,000 that day. Because the entire sale, I think I was at like $3,700 for that weekend. And the majority of it came after I sent that email on the last day. And so I now close my emails. So if I'm going to write a sell, I write all 2 or 3 emails at the same exact time, and they get scheduled at the same exact time. So I don't send out a promo now unless I'm going to close it. Because that's when that's when a lot of the sells come in. Most of them come in when you're closing the sell.
Yeah. Like double the sales that you have made. I found that time and time and time again. When I get an email in my inbox about a sell and they don't close it, do you guys know, I just have to hold myself back. I just want to write them an email. It's like, you lost out on so much money. You put in all this work. You front end loaded so much, but you forgot to pick up the magic that's raining. You just have to go out there and stand there with a bucket. Like, just send out that last email. It's so simple.
Yeah, it's human nature. So if I even look at my own email box, the first email, I'm like, oh, great, there's a sale. It's all weekend. Okay, fantastic. Like, I'll get to it. Right. And then you get sidetracked, you don't get to it. And then you get that email that's like final few hours and you're like, oh crap, like if I want this, I need to order right now. And that's the beauty of the email, is it goes with human nature. It goes how your customers and how yourself order and purchase.
Agreed. Which email provider do you use? It doesn't matter. Just FYI, just get one. But which one do you use?
Yeah. So I am now with Klaviyo, but I did MailChimp. I was on ActiveCampaign. I'm at Klaviyo and I like it the best so far. Very easy to use, and it completely integrates with Shopify and with the Recharge app. So that's an added bonus.
Nice. Michelle Malley's on right now. I just saw her hop in. I went to go buy her book today, her cookbook today. And I was in bed on my phone and I didn't have the right credit card. And I'm like, oh, I'll come back to it. Come down to my office and I have a reminder that I forgot to check out. And I'm like, Michelle, thank you so much for setting that up for me. I think sometimes as entrepreneurs, we feel like we might be bugging our customers. It's not bugging, it's serving. If Michelle didn't remind me about that cookbook, I'd have a life, right? Like, kids need me, husband needs me, my computer's going off. Like, we have to go at a place of service to our people to make sure they can get our killer products versus going at it like, oh, am I going to bug them? You don't bug them. Wendy doesn't bug us. Like, Wendy just showers us with Glitter Luv. That's the name of her business, right? And that's what we get to lean into. You don't bug your customers. And if you do, they unsubscribe. Great. You don't have to pay for them because emails cost you money. Let them unsubscribe. You don't want them anyway. Perfect. Okay. Terry is asking, are you packing all of your inventory yourself or do you hire out?
So we still are our own fulfillment. I do have an amazing teenager that comes and helps. It was just, 9 hours a week, like 3 days a week. But because of our subscription boxes, she's been coming 4 days a week. And I don't know, she's probably up to 10 to 15 hours a week. It's pretty steady. And with the whole, coronavirus and her being in high school on virtual school 2 to 3 days a week, it helps that she can come out on those days too. So.
Love it. When you told me that you hired,
I'm working on it slowly but surely. I know I don't have, and Alison's going to yell at me for this, I do not have a customer service person. So I answer every single email and website ping myself right now. But having started Facebook ads and realizing that people don't know my brand or my personality at that first purchase, sometimes there's a lot more inquiry about basic things that most of my followers and my core customers already know. And so something I'm looking actively right now to hire out is a customer service person.
And I love that you just didn't jump in. So many businesses jump into Facebook ads and they're like, it doesn't work. Nothing works. You perfected your product. You perfected the process. You perfected getting stuff out the door, talking to your community, your customers, and then you're starting to integrate Facebook ads. And I love that process because I've seen so many people just jump right into it. And then maybe they get the 250 sales in one day. They don't know how to fulfill, and then they quit because they can't do it. Or they lose all their money because Mark Zuckerberg, he is happy to take
you.
Yeah, he doesn't care about you at all. Yeah. And so I love the process, how you roll this out in steps That's exactly how you build the strong business. This is how you're going to get to your $1 million business, is doing the same thing, growing from 250 to 350 to 450 a month and being able to handle that and getting more teenagers in.
Yes.
Okay. So next thing, talk to me about how you discovered, like, you've got glitter. It's not like you're selling, I don't know, toothbrushes one day and glitter the next day and shoes the next day. Like, you are a glitter brand. How do you keep things exciting for your customers?
Yeah, that has probably been the longest journey. Because, and, I think at the beginning of this year, I was really struggling with that, like for months, like January, February, March. I'm like, sales are down. And this is before COVID truly hit, sales were down. My return customer rate was 76%. And I'm like, they already have all of my products. Like, how can I keep selling them the exact same stuff? And, I think that's, some of that is like the mind frame of, Satan and the universe being like, no, 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 no. We don't care that you're about to explode in your business and do amazing things. We want to keep you down here where you keep self-doubting yourself. And I was there for probably three months. And then Allison's like, Wendy, get into gear. And so what I discovered in March and April, when we really had to change the message because of COVID, and then we had riots and all of that fun stuff, is that my customers had choice fatigue. Even the ones that had all my glitter would actually rebuy it if I messaged it differently. And so I started helping with choice fatigue because especially if you're starting, you don't know the difference between metallic and iridescent and holographic glitter. And so how can I help you know the difference for the project you want and reduce some of those choices? And so what I started doing was putting together packs of glitter. And I was really low on inventory. So this also could have probably been a mistake or a failure that I learned from, is I went out into my garage, which is my fulfillment center, and looked at what was on the shelves. And I was like, okay, I've got quite a bit of this glitter and this glitter and this glitter. And I put it together. I'm like, can these colors go together? And how can I show people to use this? And I ended up putting together two different Easter packs. And one I called the pastel pack and one I called the peeps pack. And I put it together and started emailing it out and talking about it on my group. And they sold out like within 2 weeks. And that was just, I couldn't bring in any more inventory. I just didn't have the resources to do it. And so I had to resell what I already had. And at that point I had a 76 or 86% return customer rate. So I was like, they already have all my products. It's oversaturated. I can't keep doing this. And I did that and it sold out. And all of a sudden I went from making $4,000 to $5,000 a month to $7,000 to $8,000 a month. And then I was like, okay, well, what can we do for the next month? And so we put together another pack. We did a whole bunch of emails themed around and crafts for the blog themed around that pack and those colors. And then the next month it was $8,000 to $10,000 a month, for a couple months. And we just started doing that. And then, so reducing some of that customer decision fatigue really helped. And then it also just helped clean the stuff off my shelf that was just sitting there by putting it together and repackaging it and reigniting the conversation around how can these colors, work for the themes that are coming up or the holidays that are coming up. Hopefully that answered, because I feel like I went on a sidetrack.
No, that was so brilliant. Like, I'm looking at a lot of people's faces, and like, if we had an emoji that had a jaw on the floor, Wendy, like everybody would have posted that one. That was so good.
My return customers that I know had those colors rebought the packs because I presented it in a different format. And that shocked me. That was like a lie I was telling myself, that I couldn't do that broke that month.
It's because you were serving them and you're like, look at these colors that go together and look how you can use it. It wasn't like rummage through your pantry to see what you have. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody has time to do that. Like, right. Let me just help you and give this to you. Let me do the thinking for you because I already know you have a ton on your plate already. So,
Yeah.
oh, so good. So good. Okay. So Esmeralda is asking, how did you hire the people that do your live videos?
So one of them, she's been with me since the beginning, and she's just super sweet and kind, and out of the generosity of her heart and wanting to serve others, she has actually answered a lot of the questions in my group for like the last 2 years. She just does it. And so, I don't know, probably about April, I was like, can I bring you on as a formal moderator for the group? Cause you're already doing it. And can I pay you? And she's like, you don't need to pay me. And I was like, no, seriously, you're working for me. Can I do this? And she's like, no, I would feel bad. And so then, we just kept talking about it. And I was like, well, what if I pay you with a large subscription box for free every month and you come do a live? And she was like, okay, that sounds fair. So I just send her a large subscription box every month, and she does a live about the subscription box and uses something or a color in that box. The other one that I have, she's one of the groups that I found. She actually found me. She's like, I have this group. Do you do discounts? Do you, sponsor anything? And so we started talking, and I was bringing in different guest live speakers because I knew I wanted to hire somebody to do lives in my group. And I had her come do one, and she did great. And she loves to teach. And so she can sit on a Facebook Live for 2 hours and answer the exact same question. That's not my personality. I can't sit on a live for 2 hours and answer the same question. Know your limits. That is my biggest thing. Know your limits. And so I asked her the same thing. Would you be willing to do a live a month for a large subscription box? So our large subscription box undiscounted is like $70 or $75. And so basically they're getting paid 70 or I can't remember how much it is. I'm sorry. It's like, we'll just say $70 for doing one live event a month through Glitter. So
it's less for you. No, it is so good. So anybody that's thinking, I can't do social media because I don't like it, Wendy just proved to you right now, you don't have to do it. Just hire someone that's a fanatic about your product, and you can even pay them in product. And they're super happy. Super, super happy. Oh, okay. So good, you guys. I hope you're getting all this stuff and how you can incorporate. I'm thinking about Stacy. Maybe she could do it with her flies for her fly fishing and have a subscription box for fly fishing, like a t-shirt. Like, think about how you can incorporate some of this stuff into your business. The email, sending out a closing email. I know Ruth's been asking about that too. Margot wants to know, do you post your Facebook group lives on other social media like Instagram or just in your group?
It's only in my group. We will reference like the 2 lives that I pay for. We will reference them on Instagram and in email that we're going to be having this event. I created like a Sanderson's glitter pack for one of the live events, and we advertised that and said, if you go to the event page, you'll get a discount off of the product. And so we've done it that way, but no, it's all in my group. I personally don't do anything outside of the group. I have a social media VA who does all of my Instagram and my Facebook page. And she has grown my Instagram from a wee 700 people to 2,500 in 4 months. She knows what she's doing. I don't. It is worth the few $100s I pay for her a month.
You pay $300?
I can't do glitter with her. I tried.
You pay $300 a month?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, Wendy. I love it.
I pay her more because she also writes my blog posts, but for just the social media of Instagram and Facebook page, and she does my Pinterest. It was $300 a month.
That's so fantastic. Okay. I love how you're like, hey, this is what I like to do. I'm not doing that. I'm going to hire someone else to do it because like I see so many entrepreneurs. Yes. When you first get started, Wendy, I remember you first getting started and you're like, I have to do all the things, and you did all the things and you're like, I hate these things, but I love these things and I hate this thing. And you had to sort through what fit Wendy, what fit your soul. Because if you were posting on Instagram, if you were doing lives and had to show up and answer the same dang question for the 15th time, you would have been like, I quit. I hate this. I don't want to show up anymore. So you're like, hey, let me just give you a sample box and you can do this. I know you'll love it. Like, this is your passion. So that employee, or that not employee, but that worker, independent contractor, that volunteer, whatever you call her, she is in her happy zone. You're in your happy zone. And that's why you're growing. And it's so good. So good. Wendy says, does she need more clients? Wendy? Yep. Oh, they're probably asking about the social media.
I sit in a silo. I work from home. I'm now a teacher and a principal to a 9-year-old. And I live in this little tiny silo. And, every day I question whether or not what I'm doing works. And so it's important to have a community and a group. And that's one of the reasons why I love Alison's group, is that I have micro communities within her 0 to 100K that I don't think I could have gotten where I am without the support of those amazing people. So look for your micro team of support within the 0 to 100K, because it will make a difference.
100%. I've seen them yell at you, Wendy, yell in a nice friendship way and say, like, when you're like, is this good? And this was like right after you hit $10,000 a month. And they're like, Wendy, yes, it is good. Sometimes we're looking at our stuff and our brains are just, they can't accept that we just did $10,000 in a month or $20,000 in a month. Right. And sometimes we have to have people yell at us to remind us to stop looking at those future peaks so much and look back at exactly the mountain that we already have climbed up. And entrepreneurs that have been through the process, they just get it. All right, let's dive into the top 10 takeaways I pulled out of this conversation with Wendy. Number 1, mistakes can be your guide. How many times have we made a mistake and then just been so frustrated with it that we just throw it away or toss it to the side? Well, what if we just sit with it for a minute? And maybe that's the answer that we've actually been looking for. The second one, close out your sales with an email, with a post, something to let your customers know they only have a few hours left to purchase. I will tell you right now, time and time again, that works. It works. It has always worked for me. I'm going to say 99% of the time, because we can't guarantee everything, right? But it works consistently for me over and over and over. Okay. Number 3, help your customers make decisions by offering them products that they can use. If your customers have to decide between a whole bunch of things, they're going to get decision fatigue. And we know what happens with decision fatigue, right? It's kind of like that question of, hey, mom, what's for dinner? We don't want to answer it. Like, we cringe. No, thank you. So help set up your products to be able to help your customers decide easier. Number 4, I love this one. If you don't want to do a live, you've got Facebook Live, Instagram Lives, Reels, all the things, and you're feeling pressured to do it and you just don't want to do it. Guess what? You don't have to. Hire it out. Hire it out. Take one of your top fans who is so passionate about your product and ask them if they want to do it. And you may be able to start paying them in product. Number 5, don't want to run your Instagram account or your Facebook account? Great. You don't have to. You can hire that one out as well. Number 6, when you learn to work in your happy zone, you grow. I love how Wendy said that social wasn't her happy zone and she was okay with it. When she went over to her happy zone, that's when her business grew. Yes, and even her Instagram followers grew. Number 7, your very first dollar is the hardest one to make in the online world. And then after that, not so much. Number 8, buy the minimum amount of quantity when you start. You don't need to invest hundreds and thousands of dollars or even thousands of dollars into a product. Order small. My very first thing that I sold was something headed to the trash can. Wendy, she just bought the basic colors in glitter. You don't have to go out and buy big, huge scads of inventory to be successful. Number 9, I know there's a lot of talk on influencers being on Instagram where you have to do the swipe up. Wendy leaned into Facebook groups, being her influencer, and that's where she made her very first $600. So have you checked out Facebook groups lately? Those can be your influencers as well. And number 10, I love this one. You cannot sort glitter. Can you even imagine? You got little tweezers that you're trying to sort everything. Oh my gosh, that would be so just burn the house down at that point, right? You can't sort glitter. I loved how Wendy took that mess of glitter and turned it into one of her top, if not her top selling product, and help her stand out from the competition. Now, I hope you love that conversation that we had with Wendy. She was so open, and I'm so grateful that she just opened up and told us so much about the ins and outs of her business. And we've got to see her almost over a whole year be able to progress and grow. And this journey that she has been on has been such a blessing to watch. And I'm so excited that I was able to share it with you today. Don't forget to rate and review all those good things in podcast land, because it helps this podcast get out to more people. I know I've already talked about it, but really it means a lot when you do that. All right, now get out there, go make money, put it in your pocket where it belongs. Why? Because you can, and because I know you're going to do really good things with it. All right, we will see you next week. Bye.